2, 3, for the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Okay, sometimes you go over the top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. Don't do that. That's when you feel like a big dope. Because they're the worst bumps you can be taking. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you reach out for the hot tag and you go ahead and make your own comeback. Knock it off. That's when you should quit wrestling. And you're better off rolling in thumbtacks. Hey, you the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you're distracting the referee, and the babyface has your wrestler pinned. Then he is, and you realize all the trouble you're in, because it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. Episode 101, Bob Squad. Alright, here we go. It's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Way, what's going on, Bob Squad? It is episode 101. That is a new beginning. 101 is when all the stuff is learned. That's when we start from scratch. We're scraping from the bottom of the barrel back to ground zero, back to square one, back to the drawing board. Pulling ourselves up by the bootstraps, throwing them at the wall, and seeing if it sticks, you crazy cats. And what better way to start all over again than with the Hulu edition of the July 27th, 2021 NXT episode on Hulu is where the Hulu edition goes. Here's a note. Mandy Rose, who has been on Raw and SmackDown for the last couple of years, has returned to NXT. I don't even think she was really in NXT much to begin with, if at all. I know she was on the Divas show. I think they just kind of... I'm sure she did some matches there, but I don't really remember her being on any of the programs at any great extent. But Mandy Rose, so a Raw superstar, has been on this show for like 3 weeks now, and it is yet to be shown or mentioned on the Hulu episodes. So I think that's just a little odd. I thought I would mention that, in case you're wondering, what the hell, Bob? How come you never? Because they don't show it on Hulu. I could look it up, but apparently it's not on my number one list of things to do. I'm just saying. It doesn't seem to be a big priority. They won't let you miss a damn second of this breakout tournament thing, but okay. We do that recap up top that I love. It's short, it's a minute long. What happened last week, what's happening this week, why you should care. And that's it. It's a minute or two. I love it. I always love those. And then we opened with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. I apologize, guys. It was WrestleMania 3. 93,173 people. I don't think I'll do a Mania 3 episode. Maybe I'll just watch that match and just talk about it. I don't know. What the hell's it going to open with? I know it's going to close with. Just to get it out of the way. just to say I finally got the monkey off my back here. We have a tag team match. Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa starting off the match. Ciampa and Thatcher enter the ring. I think their tag team name should be the Actual Men. Compared to the rest of this roster and MSK, etc., etc. This team, they should just be the Actual Men. And I think you would just get it. So these grizzly-looking sumbitches come out, and they wrestle two other grizzly sumbitches, Oni Lorcan and Pete Dunne, their tag team now. I liked it. It was good. Nothing to really write home about, and what a boring letter that would be to my mother. Why would she care? Yeah, just kicking each other's ass. Some scientific wrestling, some hard-hitting stuff. They build to a more exciting when the bigger moves and the like a little dive here or there. They build to it towards the end. They just don't start off going 1,000 miles an hour. They tease the finger thing and still sell it like it's a big deal. The stuff Dunn does with the fingers. Holland Ridge, who broke his leg in a freak thing like last summer, I think. Was it 2 summers ago or last summer? I don't know. I think it was last summer. Right, because he was like showing up and like no one else was in there. So he was beating up the brief babyface Undisputed, and then he caught someone in a dive and crushed his leg or something. And he crushed his knee, and he shows up and he gives Pete Dunne the nod. That makes sense that they would know each other from UK. And then So anyway, Holland Ridge shows up. Ridge shows up out of nowhere. He clotheslines one of the actual men. I forget which one. Of course, Ciampa takes the pin, doesn't he? Always. He gets. I don't know if he got rolled up or he got hit with a move and rolled. He got hit with the bitter end. Pete Dunne's move. He was done with Tommaso Ciampa. LOL. And the three big heels beat up the actual men. And well, there you go. So I'm wondering if this is going to carry on, or if the two heels with Ridge in their corner are going to finally just beat the tar out of MSK, and then go with the actual men versus Dunn and Lorcan. They're not going to do that. MSK is just going to beat everyone forever. It's going to be stupid. I don't remember. There weren't a lot of like referees coming out to break this up. It was just kind of like, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Whatever we feel like. Carmelo Hayes is a guy. Samoa Joe's in a parking lot, and Samoa Joe shows up into the mini arena thing and says he has a little table and two chairs in the ring. I don't know who he's going to put through the little table, but nobody. And so William Regal comes out to confront Joe, and William Regal's facial expressions are great because he says, I don't know if Regal says a damn thing during this. If he does, it's very little, but I don't think he says a damn thing. So Samoa Joe is terrific. He's pissed off at Cross and yada yada yada, and he says, "Hey Regal, this is a simple solution. You accept my resignation as the co-commissioner guy. You reinstate me as a wrestler, and you give me a match against Cross for the championship, of course, at TakeOver 36, whenever that is. I have no idea." And Regal agrees, and they sign the things. And I liked it because that was it. There was no carrying cross music. There was no extra stuff to make you forget what just happened. They just did this, and it worked. So this way it leaves room for something else to happen next week that might be of interest. Little by little, we'll get there. It's a soap opera. Move a little bit forward all the time. Josh Briggs is big. And then within there's golf. Oh, this is terrific. These golf segments with Cameron Grimes and LA Knight, and all these Butler segments with Grimes and Knight have been just absolutely wonderful. I enjoy these. Yeah, are they silly? Are they hokey? Yes, they're both playing the things to the T, to the T. LOL. I didn't even mean that, to the T. Okay. Cameron Grimes is misunderstanding. He doesn't know what a driver is. He thinks he's the literal driver, and all these things. And he yells loudly. There's a lot of ball jokes. It's very sophomore work. This is very Triple H. Just like Vince McMahon, it's all poop and fart and butt jokes. Any bathroom humor, especially butt things, Vince likes. Well, Triple H is all dick and balls, so it's not too far advanced. But anyway, Grimes loudly yells, "Hey, do you want me to wash your balls for you?" and everything else, and doesn't understand why Knight wants him to not yell that, and yada yada yada. And I think Grimes hits LA Knight hits the ball in the lake and in the tree, and Grimes keeps saying that he wins another $5,000 every time, but they never really placed the bet. But anyway, this is entertaining. Watch it just for the balls. Carmelo Hayes and Briggs have a match, and Briggs is big, and this other Australian guy sits with the commentators, Beth and Wade Barrett, and the other guy, and Hayes wins. He beats the big guy, so it's going to be the young athletic Carmelo Hayes versus Duke Hudson? I don't know, fucking know, Hudson. More golf. This was terrific. Grimes goes to get the ball out of the water, and Ted DiBiase. That's terrific. The $1 Million Man just rolls up on a golf cart and tells Grimes, "You're better than this. What are you doing?" And Grimes is like, "Hey, I'm a man of my word." But then Ted gives a simple promo. We used to see these in the Filmation He-Man too. Just a simple thing about, hey man, just be a man and believe in yourself and ask yourself who you want to be, and give you something to think about. And Grimes does, and Ted drives away in his golf cart. I don't know why Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, is driving his own golf cart, but it did have a dollar sign on it, as all of his vehicles do. It's terrific. Ridge Holland is in a parking lot with the other two guys. Oh, this is terrific. Okay. Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota come out. Raquel does it. Now, we've been planting the seeds. The seeds have been planted. We're trying to get some sprouts here. I was surprised by this. Not that they did it, but they did it this early. But I guess, again, Raquel has no one to wrestle, so did what we had to do. It is a little bit rushed, but Raquel cuts a big, long promo and a good heel promo about how, hey, she dominated this one and that one. The Legion of Gimmicks and Io Shirai and Xia Li, yada, 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 yada. And Dakota backs her up and says, as long as I have your back, you will be the NXT Women's Champion. Raquel turns around, and then Dakota lays in this kick. You have to lay it in, because this is the one they're going to replay 800 times. So this is the one where you have to apologize before or after. Because honestly, they're going to play it over and over, so it better hit. And Dakota runs, and she kicks Raquel's head off, or at least it looked like it, which was terrific. And Hell holds up that championship and shows her jealousy, because Dakota got that clean win over Ember not too long ago and made a few faces during some Raquel promos, but nothing too deep. Was it a little fast? Maybe, for my taste, but I'm old. And Dakota leaves. So this is going to be interesting. I guess, I don't know if they're going to do that. I guess they're going to do that match whenever this TakeOver 36 is. I mean, because again, Raquel has no opponents, and now after doing this, there's no one else you want to see versus Raquel, so you really have no choice but to do the match. Does Dakota win it? I would leave it open for a rematch. Sorry, I know modern fans hate DQ count out non-finishes, especially on big matches. I get why that's frustrating, but the thing is, because nowadays you're frustrated at the company for booking it and not at the heel for doing something to fuck it over. We're supposed to be mad at the heel. I think drag it out. Drag it out, and Dakota can sneak win it whenever, if that's the plan. The thing is, with Raquel's size, I don't see her staying in NXT too much longer either. That's just me. I think the women's roster is getting mighty thin on both shows, so yeah, with the size, I just don't see her staying there for too much longer. And Dakota will be the one with no opponents, and so on and so forth, but I don't know. And Candice and Indy are tied up in their own wacky thing. We go to Adam Cole. We'll get to them in a second. Adam Cole backstage cuts a good promo on Bronson Reed, how he's going to beat him. They're going to wrestle in the main event. The Way! Candice LeRae in a way, and Indy Hartwell and Johnny Gargano have lost Austin Theory. He has run away. It is odd that the gimmick of this is like Indy and Austin are like their children, even though they're like 5 years younger, but for some reason it works. Because the arrogance of Gargano, Gargamel, and Candice LeRae acting like that works somehow. And they blame each other, and finally they find a ruling because Indy Hartwell's obsessed with Dexter Lumis. They say, okay, it'll be Gargamel versus Lumis next week, and if Gargamel wins, Indy can't date Dexter Lumis. This is silly. And if Dexter wins, they can date each other. Lumis and Gargano can date each other, I guess. Bronson Reed is backstage adjusting his elbow pads, I don't know, and more golf. And the grizzled young veterans who do not look as grizzled as Champa, Thatcher, Dunn, or Lorcan, they're in a golf cart, and they start betting. The whole roster just plays golf, do they? On the same day, at the same time, in the same place? This may jump the shark a little for me, but anyway. So Grimes is terrific here. He's making all the bets, and LA Knight's getting upset with him, and LA Knight is not acting too much unlike Ted Knight from Caddyshack, oddly enough. I wonder if that came up. I really wish that Grimes was about to take a putt and LA Knight would go, well, we're waiting. They didn't do that. But that's okay. I actually applaud them for not ripping off every Caddyshack joke. Like, they didn't find, like, they didn't have Cameron Grimes jump into the pool and pull out a Baby Ruth and take a bite out of it, and a woman thinks he's eating poop. Vince McMahon would have had that happen. And then said, wait, what movie? There's no movie that's from. I thought of it. So, and LA Knight gets accidentally hit in a driver in the testicles. More ball jokes with Cameron Grimes. So LA Knight, for 3 weeks in a row, has had a butler who's paid someone else to mow his lawn, knocked him into a pool. I don't know if it's 3 weeks or 2 weeks. Messed up his golf game and hit him in the testicles with a piece of iron. So, here we go. Adam Cole wrestles Bronson Reed. This is a good match. It is always hard to have a bigger heel and a bigger face and a smaller heel. But it worked. I felt Cole was going to win because Bronson dominated like 80% of the match. So okay, that's kind of a usual, an older school rule of thumb there. But up top, Cole's taking all the big bumps for him and everything else, and eventually Cole breaks him down and beats him clean. Last shot, he gets that Panama Sunrise, which did look really silly. Cole doing to a really big guy, kind of looked preposterous. But anyway, so what was it? The running knee to the back of the head, I think, or the front? I forget. Anyways, one of those running knee things, and Adam Cole, he beats Bronson Reed and escapes by the skin of his teeth. And Kyle O'Reilly attacks, acting nothing like a babyface, beats the tar out of Cole and gives him the move on top of the steps there. The brain buster. This is a little more suplexy, but I don't like them landing high on the steps or the middle of the ring, or the ring apron is the hardest part of the ring anyway, so I prefer it a little more like a suplex. The announcers just yell brain buster. I don't care. I don't like people dropping their heads. I don't like it. And so now the thing is, this didn't work for me. I'm sorry, guys, because I love Cole and I love Kyle. This didn't work for me. Because now, whenever Cole cuts his promo, he should be out for a little bit. They'll have him out for 2 weeks, but whenever he cuts a promo from where he's recovering from, or I don't fucking know. Every point that Adam Cole makes is going to be 100% correct when he cuts his promo. People are going to listen to the heel's promo and go, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And Kyle, whatever Kyle has to say, is not going to make any sense. So I just feel like Kyle should, because Kyle jumped him from behind. Like, I feel like Kyle should have walked up to him with plenty of time. You can see me coming face to face. Said something to him, and just punched him, and beat him, battered him around pillar to post for a little bit. Like, at least he can say he fought him like a man and didn't jump him. Because now I just saw Kyle lose clean in a big match to Adam Cole, and he's got to jump Adam Cole from behind. Who is the heel? Okay, so Adam Cole is like the babyface, really, but he's just being a dick about it. But he hasn't been a heel here at all. He beat Cole clean, and he got jumped for beating another big guy clean. I don't understand. Because Adam Cole just became a heel in whatever the WrestleMania month where no, it was before that. Whenever the hell he turned on Kyle, so he can't turn him back. What are they doing? I'm lost on this, and I'm a little frustrated because they have excellent matches. And it reminds me of Rhea and Charlotte. We have this excellent match here that is just confused. It's confusing and it's muddled by this story. I just don't understand how I'm supposed to feel here. Um, so I hate to taint it a little bit because it's still a very good episode. Um, I like the restraint showed with Joe and Regal and Raquel, and you know what else is good about Raquel and Dakota? I'll just tell you. Um, it was brief. It wasn't this crazy. If that segment was on Raw, it'd be 20 minutes, like the 19-minute women's segment that started Raw, and 19 is not good for the men either. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the Charlotte, Rhea, Nikki Ash, yada yada yada, and Adam Cole and Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. Like, oh, gee, 19 minutes. The Raquel Dakota thing on Raw would have taken 19 minutes, and there's only two of them, and it would have been painfully obvious for 12 of the 19 minutes. Here, I mean, most of it was aftermath, and I should have mentioned this too. I like how Raquel she sold being knocked out by Dakota's kick for a while, probably even more so than they would have her doing a match nowadays. But it does come out of nowhere. She wasn't even in a match. She wasn't expecting it, so that's another good excuse. And she was out, and as she was getting up, she's holding her face, but she has to show her shock and more of a heartbreak type of sell in addition to the big kick out of nowhere. And I thought Raquel did awesome with that. Like, I believed it. I was really into that segment. There is a little thing too they showed. I forgot to write it down. They showed Dakota leaving the building, and I like this. Again, subtlety and restraint. You don't see it on Raw. Gee, I wonder why. Where I think they asked Dakota, whoever the camera person is, asked Dakota, "Hey, why'd you do that?" She just turns, she just gives a little smile, and she leaves. She can cut her "why I did it" promo, which is pretty obvious. Later, like next week, whenever the fuck, who cares? The statement's been made. The important part is you saw the kick. The kick looked great. So this is my favorite thing going on right now on NXT. No offense to Mandy Rose, but they haven't shown you on Hulu. Sorry, Mandy. So the breakout tournament is not exactly tickling my taint, but what can I tell you? Bronson Reed talking has killed Bronson Reed for me. Bad idea. Bad idea. He's a big boy though. Maybe I mean he was another one rumored to be going up, so maybe they're just getting what they can out of him and make it Cole look good because Bronson Reed is not the story there clearly. Either way, a pretty decent episode. But even though I saw bumps in the steps, I saw surprise kicks out of nowhere. Thankfully, at least that I can't recall, any vicious bumps on a ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the ring. Bada bada.